love being in nature. Growing up here in Utah, most of my favorite memories and experiences have been exploring the mountains, forests, and deserts. A few years ago, when I was on a hike in the Wasatch Mountains, I found myself thinking about work. Normally, I try to leave work at work, but on this particular hike, I couldn't stop thinking about how to help small businesses and organizations thrive. I paused for a moment and I looked up. I saw the trees standing tall around me, branching out in every direction. I could hear the sounds of the birds, the breeze, and the bugs buzzing about. I could feel the sun beaming through the canopy, warming my shoulders. I took a deep breath. And then it dawned on me. Ecosystems. Normally, we use the word ecosystem to describe nature, but I also frequently hear it used in the world of business. So this got me thinking, what can nature teach us about business? It turns out a lot. In nature, when an ecosystem is healthy, it is productive and innovative. Each species plays a unique role, and they all work together to utilize available resources to create abundance for the cycle of life. Healthy ecosystems are also harmonious and interconnected. In a forest, the trees and the fungi, they share resources through an underground network of roots. Lastly, healthy ecosystems are resilient and sustainable, adapting to changes and withstanding threats. Some native plants where I live have adapted to wildfire, frost, and droughts, and can survive long periods of time without water and in extreme temperatures. Isn't it interesting that some of these same traits that describe a healthy ecosystem are some of the same goals of a successful business? Productive and abundant, cooperative and connected, resilient and sustainable. Yet, if we were to look at our current economy, or what we could call our business ecosystem, we would find that nearly half of all small businesses fail in their first 5 years. These small businesses make up the majority of our global economic opportunity. Further, 2023 was the all-time low for employee happiness. And a 2021 study found that 8 in 10 American workers are experiencing chronic workplace stress or burnout. 8 in 10. These statistics don't seem all that healthy to me. As a nature-loving entrepreneur and business school professor, I've been exploring how we can mimic natural ecosystems to build better businesses and healthier workplace cultures. The strategies I'm about to share aren't just for the managers, leaders, and executives, though. They're for all of us, whether we're working in a corporation, running a small business, or volunteering for an organization. These are ways that we can look to nature to inspire better work. The first strategy is to align to our nature. This means that we, as both individuals and as businesses, work to deeply understand and align to our own unique purpose, values, strengths, and needs. Think about it. In a healthy ecosystem, every organism has a particular purpose and has evolved to fulfill it. Each of these roles is distinct, reciprocal, and essential to the health of the ecosystem. A butterfly, its purpose is to pollinate flowers. A tomato plant, it evolved to produce tomatoes. It would be silly to expect a butterfly to produce a tomato. Each species sticks to its own purpose. In work, we can all explore our own natural strengths and align to roles that work for us. Research supports this. Gallup compiled data from more than 25 million surveys and found that those that were working in alignment to their natural strengths were more productive, more profitable, and much more likely to stay at their current workplace. I use this strategy in my own business by inviting my team to work on projects designed specifically for their unique strengths instead of in predefined roles. We all work together to understand what we're naturally good at and genuinely interested in, and then we design and distribute work accordingly. For instance, I'm a big picture thinker. Give me a whiteboard and a big problem to solve, and I will come up with solutions all day long. However, I'm not that great at managing the small details or coordinating the precise steps to get the work done. I can certainly try to do these things, but it takes me a lot of energy and results in even more frustration. Instead, I found really amazing people who are actually good at these things, and we all work together to get everything done. This concept also applies to how we lead our organizations at the highest levels. Jim Collins, the well-known business researcher and author, has spent his career studying the common traits of the world's greatest companies. He found that those that relentlessly pursued their core purpose and values, instead of trying to keep up with the latest and greatest strategic trends, had the best chances of long-term success. Aligning to our nature means fully understanding why we work, how we work best, and what we can do to create environments that support our unique natures as both individuals and as businesses. The second nature as business strategy is to embrace symbiotic prosperity. This inspires us to work better in our teams, in the market, and with our competitors to create success and abundance for us all. In business school, we commonly teach a concept called competitive advantage. It's an approach in which a business tries to be better than all of its competitors. In nature, competitive advantage might be compared to Darwin's theory of survival of the fittest. However, new research out of Duke University suggests that actually survival of the friendliest is the main driver of evolution, and implies that symbiosis, reciprocity, and cooperation are far better than competition in nature. An easy way to think about this is to look at a thriving vegetable garden. An indigenous agricultural practice called the Three Sisters, or companion planting, wisely suggests planting corn, beans, and squash together. The corn provides a stock for the beans to grow. The beans help regulate nitrogen in the soil, and the large leaves of the squash create shade and help retain water moisture. Survival of the friendliest. In business, cooperation instead of competition can also be really helpful. Here in Utah, where the liquor laws can be sorta strict, many of the local breweries have banded together to support each other's beers, and it's common to see competitor beers on tap. This helps the entire industry to grow instead of forcing the newer, smaller, or struggling breweries out of business. Along these lines, one thing that you might try in your own small business is to consider mutually beneficial pricing with clients. This might look like offering a sliding scale or a payment plan option for clients who might be struggling financially. In this case, you still make a sale, and your client still receives the value of your work. It's a win-win. Lastly, the third business strategy that we can learn from nature is to go with the flow. Most of us have heard about the benefits of finding flow in our work. It's that experience when you're fully immersed in the task at hand, and no matter how challenging, the work just, flows. In nature, flow can be found nearly everywhere. Air flows in the wind, water flows in the rivers, resources flow between species and throughout seasons, and information flows in that underground network of roots. In business, flow is also vital. Cash flow, supply chain flow, process flow, workflow, communication flow. My favorite way of flowing in business is what I call seasonality in our work. Like a healthy ecosystem, we as humans tend to work best within the natural ebbs and flows of productive focus and periodic rest. We will each have our own rhythms based on our personal needs and preferences. Some of us might work best in highly focused spurts of a few hours, others in more consistent blocks of time. The early birds, you'll work best in the morning. The night owls, later in the day. The trick is to get to know your own seasonality and optimize for it. In business, many organizations, especially those that operate 24/7, need coordinated and consistent work schedules to operate. Going with the flow and seasonality can inspire more flexible schedules instead of fixed shift work. Managers can identify which staff have complementing rhythms and then assign shifts accordingly. Going with the flow inspires us to work more productively by finding what flows instead of forcing what doesn't. Each of these three strategies align to our nature, embrace symbiotic prosperity, and go with the flow are ways of branching out to nature to inspire more resilient, more abundant, and more sustainable businesses and workplace cultures. Natural ecosystems hold so many ideas for how we can create work that works for us. As naturalist Henry David Thoreau once said, we can never have enough of nature. I'd add 2 words to that quote. We can never have enough of nature in business. Thank you.